What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are. It's Wednesday, and I'm trying to make up for lost time. Just because we have a 4-day week doesn't mean I'm not going to still try to have a fantastic finish to the month of May. So I'm sitting here right now up over $60,000 on the day. Add that to the $175,000 I made yesterday. Wow, this week is phenomenal. I mean, no doubt, as we sit right now, it's the best week of the entire year. And the month of May is the best month of the entire year. In fact, it just became my top 5, my 5th biggest month of all time. I'm currently sitting, coming into today, at $717,000 on the month. After today's profit of $60,000, I'll be at $776,000 in profit on the month of May. And that puts me at 2.2 million on the year. This is really, this year is shaping up quite nicely. I have the goal of $5 million, which means I need to average $20,000 per day. I'm doing 23,000 a day. So I'm, ahead of the average of where I need to be. And fortunately, yesterday was certainly a big contributor and helped bring that average up. So $717,000 here on the month of May, not including today. So after today, it'll be $777,000. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm really pleased, and we've still got 2 days left. So let's go back to the beginning of the day and start breaking it down. So when I sat down this morning, of course yesterday we had SBET, which was absolutely phenomenal, unbelievable, and it's still holding up relatively well. It hasn't crashed. It's just hanging out here at this level. The problem, though, look at the volume today. The volume today is 1.7 million shares, whereas yesterday it was 54 million. So there's a lot less volume today. It's expensive. The spreads are big. So if I pull up the level 2 on it, you'll see that you've got bigger spreads. It's just, and the thing is, it's not very liquid. So just like that, on 400 shares, it went up 15 cents a share from 35 to 49. If you try to buy 4,000 shares, it might go up 40 cents. You're just not going to get good fills on your orders. So right now it's down 18% on the day. It is pulling back. In some ways, some traders might keep this on watch for a possible trade tomorrow, or maybe another day of pullback and then a possible trade Friday. But the fact is, any trades in this area are still going to be over $25, $30 a share. It's going to be expensive. So my approach today was, let's look for something fresh. So when I first sat down, the first stock that I pulled up was BROG. So BROG. This is a stock this morning that was up quite a bit. It actually popped up after hours, pulled back, popped up, pulled back. Pre-market dipped down, popped up, dipped down, and then coming into 7 a.m. right here, boom, I broke the ice, took my first trade. Let's jump onto this 10-second chart. Now, by the way, if you did not check out my micro pullback strategy class that I taught yesterday, I will link it at the end of today's episode because it was a really solid class. I also had a full-length class yesterday where I broke down my strategy in quite a bit of detail, so that might be something to check out as well if you haven't already. So coming into 7 a.m., I took my first trade right here for the break of $6. So I bought at 6, it squeezes up to 640, and right there, I was able to make $5,983.54. So not bad. Ended up dropping back down, going back below 6, was out of play, and then it never came back up. So that was my first trade. And I said, you know what? That's all right. Breaking the ice, getting in the green, little base hit to start the day. Next trade, SPRO. SPRO is one of these stocks that started below $1 a share and just screams from 80 cents to 90 to $1 to $1.70. It pulls back, it pops up, pulls back. Where do I get in? Right there for that little ABCD pattern. That gave a nice trade here up to 190. It pulls back, it pops up a little higher. And I actually made $5,000 on my first trade on it right here. However, I gave back the $5,000 I made right here on that rejection. The way it popped up, I thought it was going to go higher, and then it rejected. So I'm actually only up $386 on it, but that's okay. Because when I broke the ice on it, I was up $5,000, and that put me up $11,000 on the day. And with $11,000 in profit, I had the conviction to jump into the next stock, which was LVWR. LVWR, you can see I'm up $19,000 on this stock. So LVWR, what happened there? Well, this is a stock that we were actually talking about yesterday as I was doing my recap because it made a really big move in the after-hours session. It was strong. Well, we could switch to a different time frame. We'll look at the 5-minute chart. So it was strong yesterday, and then after hours, it rips from 240 up to 340, up to 450. Pulls back, dips down, and this morning pops back up right here. So I got in right there on that break of VWAP setup for the break of 4, and was looking for the break through this level here, and I was looking for it to squeeze through 5. That's what I wanted to see happen. And I gave back a little bit of profit on it because I sized up as it broke this level, and I was adding right here, looking for that squeeze through 5 and then potentially a parabolic move up to 550, maybe 6. It didn't happen. The reason I was aggressive is because we've been seeing such big moves in the market. So I felt like if there's ever a time to be aggressive, it's right now. Stepped up to the plate on it, made 19,000, but did not get that big squeeze through $5. Ends up selling off a little bit, now rallying back up. So that's fine, but so got me up 19,000 on the day on that one, which put me up a combined approximately 30,000 on the day. So now I'm sitting up 30,000 on the day. I'm like, this is great. I'm in really good shape here. $20,000 is the hot market daily goal, so I'm above that. So then the next stock I traded was AMOD. You can see I'm up 11,000 on it. AMOD ends up being a pop and drop. It hits the scanner, has news, cryptocurrency catalyst. And you can see right here, it squeezes from 2 all the way up to 360. I bought it as it broke over 2 and was adding at 250, was adding at 3, and I even added at 340. I was looking for that squeeze through the high. It hit a high of 345. It reversed, and I stopped out at about, well, I sold some at 320, $3, 290, 280. I was basically buying as it went up, and then I was bailing out as it came back down, which is not what I wanted to do. I still was able to make $11,000 on it. And then the next stock that comes up on the scans is SGN. So SGN, this thing, again, just explodes from 80 cents a share all the way up to $4. Unbelievable. This percentage change right here. So it goes up, let's see, a high of 416%. What a wild move. So I made $23,000 on that squeeze. And you could tell today, I obviously was trading with larger position sizes. I've got a cushion from yesterday's profits. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm in the driver's seat. So from the beginning of the day, I'm trading a little bit more aggressively. I'm not like tripling or doing anything crazy. I'm just, kind of turning up the dial a little bit, putting the pedal to the metal, just being a little bit more aggressive, just to try to squeeze as much as I can out of this current hot market cycle that we're in. So when it comes to SGN, I took my first trade at $1.75, right? Let's see. What was the high there? No, it wasn't there. Let me get in here. So we're going to have to go on the 10-second chart to see the entry at 175. Right there. That was the micro pullback. Remember the micro pullback strategy? Guys, I'm trading it every day. Micro pullback, micro pullback, micro pullback. And then another pullback right here. This was on the 1 minute. And we get that squeeze up to 3. Now, the only thing that was frustrating on this was that I had one of my biggest positions of the day right around here. So I took a trade here for the break at 240, 250. I added at 255. I added at 265. I added at 275. I added at 285, and I added right as it hit 3. And the reason I do that is because when a stock is moving really quickly like this, that's when sometimes we get that big jump forward, and all of a sudden it's $354 on the ask. And just like that, I'm up 50 cents, $1 a share on a full-size position. I mean, that's literally what happened yesterday on SBET. So because we were in this cycle of, seeing those kind of big moves, that's what I was hoping for. But look at how it stalled out at 3. Could not break over 3. So I ended up stopping out of it, making money, but feeling like I added too high. It comes back up again. It breaks through 3, and then ends up doing sort of a similar thing up around 350. So resistance has a hard time breaking. Then it comes back up, has that little rejection there, and then it goes. And it goes right up to 4, but it's not able to break over 4, right? So once again, I sized up, adding here and looking for that squeeze, and it didn't pull away. So it kind of stalled out there and stopped. And then coming into the open, it sold off, then it bounced back up, and then it sold off again and just got really choppy. A couple big reversals, big rejections. So, I'm grateful that I made some money on it, but I feel like today could have been so much better. But this is what happens when you have attention that's dispersed across five or six different stocks. People were trading a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There was dispersed attention. And when that happens, essentially, if all of the volume on these 5, 6 different stocks had been condensed to just one stock, that stock would have had that much more volume and the breakouts would have been that much bigger. But people were quick to jump from stock to stock to stock. So unfortunately, I think that's not totally uncommon after a big day in the market like what we had yesterday, that people are really eager to find the next big move. I am too, and sort of jumping on anything that starts to pop, but we've got to be careful. So jumping on lower quality setups like AMOD, at the time it was popping, but that crypto catalyst has been really hit or miss. Yes, it worked yesterday, but generally it's not been working as well in these last few sessions. It was, the last week. It worked really well 3 weeks ago, but then it kind of got overdone. So the crypto catalyst, not working super well. SGN, this one, again, you could see there's, some crypto stuff on it. LVWR, this one was just continuation from the previous day. I'd really like a nice, hot biotech stock with a good catalyst or a private placement. The private placement catalyst can be really strong. So here's the way I'm going to approach it. I'm going to keep showing up every single day, and I'm going to keep trading with bigger size than on a cold market day. So I'm just keeping the dial up a little bit, using larger share blocks, just trading a little more aggressively, and some of these trades are going to connect. And you know what today? $60,000 is pretty awesome. That's 3 times the hot market daily goal, which is 20 grand. It's like, 12 times the cold market daily goal of 5,000. So I have no right to complain. This is a fantastic day. And if I keep stepping up the way I did today, and we get attention really focused on just maybe, 1 or 2 stocks, and we get another 400 or 500% move where it's not from $1 to $3 or $4 a share, but it's from $4 to like $16 or $20 a share, that could be another 6-figure day. So as I sit here right now, I'm feeling optimistic. Thursday, Friday, towards the end of the week, typically I wouldn't be feeling super excited because, we're kind of coming to the end of the week. But with the market being the way it's been, I'm looking forward to showing up. So I'm going to be here bright and early, live streaming tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., just for members over at Warrior Trading. So you guys are able to see my positions window while I'm trading. You'll be able to hear my commentary and listen to me as I'm talking about what I like, what I don't like, where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out. And hopefully we get some continuation of this action Thursday, Friday. And then next thing you know, we're going to be rolling into the first week of June. And as I mentioned the other day, my best month of all time was June of 2020. I made over $1 million, $1.3 million in 1 month. It was unbelievable. I didn't even know, the market could be that volatile. Let's see if I can pull up these metrics for you. So we'll just do, I'll just do. So there we go. We'll just switch this to 2020. All right, so June 2020, apply 2020. All right, there we go. So let's get zoomed in on it. There it is. So a couple red days. Unbelievable, $1.3 million. That's just crazy. So the first week, the market was really picking up. It was picking up. So the first week was like 24, 28, 24, 26, 4,000. A slow day. So $100,000 for the first week. That's my $100,000 weekly goal. Second week, 14,000, and then 115. Wow, big action. 132 the next day, 58, 81. What in the world? Then going into the next week, so that was a $400,000 week. Going into the next week, 14, then 68, 224, 155, 225. A new record breaker, best week of all time. Red day, then 60, 5, 40, 19. Smaller green week, and then 8, and then 13. So it was like this was a little window here where things just went absolutely crazy. The market was insane. So, you just never know. And imagine if I had taken that 2-week break, if I had taken 2 weeks off, that's $1 million gone. So that's why I show up every single day. And I may not trade, for the full, 8-hour day or whatever it is, but I show up every day. So I had 80% accuracy here, $2,200 average winner, $1,300 average loser, 38,000 was the biggest winner, 11,000 was the biggest loser, and I took 900 trades. That's wild. Now, if we look, just compare that to this month here. This month, my accuracy is 76%, a little bit lower, but my average winners are 3,000. My average losers are 889. I've taken only 324 trades, and we're basically at the end of the month. So in June of 2020, I took almost 3 times as many trades. There was so much moving. But my average winner, or my biggest winner this month, a 65,000, which I had yesterday, is the biggest winner of the year. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest winners I've had. If we go to 2021, it might be one of the biggest winners in a couple of years. Let's see. Yeah, that's the biggest winner I've had in 4 years. So that's pretty cool. The only winner that would be bigger than that would be, let's see. Yeah, so no, that is actually, yeah, the biggest winner there in just about 5 years. So that's solid. That I can feel pretty darn good about. But anyway, so we're in a market where we're definitely seeing some nice momentum. And as I'm seeing kind of the P&L getting a little bit bigger, each one of these, each one of these months here. So this is 2025, January, February, March cooled off, right? And then April, we were kind of back at it, but kind of had to warm back up. And then now May. So what is June going to be like? Is it going to be like way up here? Or is it going to be a little baby month down here? I don't know. It's out of my control. But you know what? I'll show up every day. And I can control how much I'm willing to risk. So if the market's hot, I'll take more risk. And if the market cools off, I'm going to, take my foot off the gas. I'm going to slow down and, just kind of pace myself until we get the next hot streak. All right, so that's it for me. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. And make sure you check out my micro pullback strategy class. I'm going to put a link to it right here. And then the full training here on my day trading strategy. Both of those classes I taught yesterday. Brand new classes. So check those out. And a reminder, as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow morning.